Okay, now we're going to talk about buckles in the carpet. You can see we put one in here just for fun. I'm going to explain to you the first thing you have to do in order to remove that buckle. You cannot just start stretching the carpet. You have to disengage the walls on the left and right and the front. So you disengage the front wall, you disengage the side walls back further than the buckle. And the reason you do this is so that you can take the carpet and easily take it back past the buckle, and many times just pulling it back past that point and relaying it out will take out, watch, most of the buckle. Now the carpet's not tight, but most of the buckle is gone. Isn't that great? So then the next thing I would do is I would stretch the length, because the buckle was going across the width, I would stretch the length of the carpet. So I'm going to take my power stretcher, and now I have my wall protector board here and my power stretcher here. And in this particular instance, I would probably start in the center, although a lot of people like to start in the corner. I prefer to start in the center. Too far, let me adjust the poles. Now I like my power stretcher head when fully engaged to be about 2 inches from the wall. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to set it. And I'm going to pump. And you can see that carpet moving. I'm going to pump that carpet. You can hear it stretching. And engage it. And then I can tuck it. Now there's two different tools you can use. This is a carpet spreader. This works great for pushing it in. But the problem is it's metal, and many times you'll have a problem with accidentally scratching a baseboard. So these tuck tools, the Easy Tucks, work really well too. It's just pushing the carpet down in the gully between the tackless and the carpet before you disengage the head. Now I like to use the spreader to hold it in that gully, or sometimes if I'm having a problem with the pins catching onto the carpet, I will take the spreader and actually push it down on the tackless, or the tack strip onto the pins and hold that carpet on those pins, so that when I disengage the stretcher, the carpet only moves back just enough to catch on those pins and no further. And now I have it really well adhered and it's caught on the pins. And then I'm going to work towards the area. I'll keep my body positioned on the area I've stretched and move this way. And then when I come back, I'll do it the opposite way. So I put it here. I'm going to stretch. You see that carpet moving. I'm going to put it in to the gully with the spreader. I'm going to hold it onto that tackless. I'm going to release the pressure. You can do the same thing one more time. Now each time I'm only moving the width of the stretcher head and no further. Okay? I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stretch it. I'm going to push it into the gully and make sure it's in that gully really well. And when I release the pressure, I should see the carpet only move back a teeny bit as it catches and engages on the pins. Now you usually have a padded 2x4, so every 4 feet or so you do have to move your tail. Okay, so I've got that done. I'm going to move it a little bit more. Again, the width of the head and no further. And I've got a nice bite on it here. Stretch it in. Put it into the gully and onto the tackless. Release the pressure. One more time. Same thing here. Position it. Proper tension. Catching on a bolt on the wall there. We have this steel reinforced bolts here. Okay, so then we have that in, we disengage the tension, and the carpet is moved back and I pull the carpet tight. Then I would do the same thing on the opposite direction. So I would move, I stretched from here that way. So now I would move my tailboard here and do the same thing again, positioning myself on the carpet I've already stretched whenever possible. Oh, there we go. Say it doesn't seem to be adjusting properly. You can tell pretty easily if something's not right usually. Push it in tight. Push the carpet into the gully well. Now this is adhering pretty well, so I don't have to push onto the tackless, but sometimes you'll find taking the carpet spreader and holding it directly on the tackless will help to cause the carpet to stay on the tackless and not come off as you're releasing the tension. Sometimes that happens, especially on old carpet where the backing might be a little weak. So again, tensioning the carpet, you can see it move, push down, pushing it into the gully, holding it there, releasing the pressure. I'll have to do the same thing one more time here. Let me move the tailboard. We'll take one more move. Carpet straight. A little more tension. Push it into that gully. Make sure it's well adhered. Release the pressure. And one more move to the corner and to the corner. Same thing. Release the tension. Now I've just stretched the length, which is pull the tension out of that buckle, okay? Now, of course, I would still have to put in the rest of the carpet. I would knee kick one side, and after I knee kick the one side, I would hook the power stretcher to that side and stretch to the other so that I have it tensioned in this direction and this direction. And that's a good repair, re-stretch for a customer. We're getting it done quickly, easily, and the only problem is when you run into a lot of furniture, it's sometimes hard to do all this with furniture in the way. So I'm a big advocate of using sliders and lift buddies, and many times we'll move everything to one side of the room and stretch the opposite side where the furniture is not. Then we'll slide everything over to this side and stretch the other side. So that's one of the reasons I started from the middle in this video, was to show you if everything, all the furniture was on this side to begin with, we would stretch this side, then we'd take all the furniture, move it to this side, and stretch from that side over. That's a very common thing for a re-stretch. This is not new carpet install, this is repairing old buckled carpet. And usually the rooms are not completely empty.